So in order to season this, you're gonna need your black pepper, your curry, you're gonna need a bit of your thyme, bit of salt, the usual salt, and then you're also gonna need your oxo beef cubes, and a bit of an onion. So I'm just gonna cut this onion now, and I'll be back in a second. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna chop this onion in half like this, like so. So I have 2 pieces here. I'm now gonna peel my garlic. Garlic is really, useful. Right now, I'm just gonna take the thyme that we had. I'm gonna sprinkle about a tablespoon's worth of it into the meat, on top of the meat. My black pepper has sort of run out, so if I had more black pepper, I would have put more. And I've put about a teaspoon worth of black pepper. I'm going to add curry powder because curry powder makes everything a lot better. I need a bit of salt because nothing tastes nice without salt, so that's just like a pinch of salt you're going to need for that. And then I'm going to take my oxo cube. I'm going to choose 2 oxo cubes to put in because it just really allows the flavor to be properly enticed. I personally like to marinate my meat before actually cooking it. I think it just gives the meat a completely different flavor. So you're not just eating meat in tomato sauce, you're eating meat in actual with actual flavor that's different to the usual of I can just taste the tomato and the meat's in there. Great, this is spaghetti bolognese. I like to be a bit more different. Now, a friend of mine introduced me to this technique, which I wasn't aware of before. And I'm actually going to grate, remember I cut my onion in half. I'm going to grate that onion on the smallest side possible, depending on your grater. So I'll probably choose this size. I'm going to grate that on top of the meat because it allows the meat to get a fully absorbed flavor. It takes in the onion really nicely. Don't try and blend the onions because that's, whoa, I think I almost grated my skin. That's completely different to what we're trying to achieve here. And if you have some onion pieces left, it's fine because it's all going to be cooked anyway. And I'm just going to mix in the spices, take all the meat. Oh my god, this thing is still frozen. It's annoying. Oh well. Try and break up the meat as best as you can. You can get your meat from anywhere. This is from Tesco because I was rushing and I was in town and I didn't want to go to Asda because I was already in town, so I decided to just pop into Tesco and get some really fresh meat. And a good way of finding out whether or not the meat is really fresh is obviously look at the date that's going to be expiring or it's going to be taken off the shelves, but also look to see how red your meat is. And the redder it is, the fresher it is. That's my policy anyway. And if you're planning to cook day of, getting the freshest produce is the best. If you're planning to cook a while from the day that you're going to buy the meat, then please make sure you buy the one that looks the freshest and the one that you can put in the freezer and you can go on and cook it a while afterwards without any problems. It doesn't start to smell, doesn't start to change color, because I find sometimes depending on where you buy your meat, the meat will start to change its color even though it's in the freezer. So this is all sort of mixed in. It's become a lot more mushy than it was before, which is good. It does smell really nice. Obviously, I'm just trying to make sure that the seasoning gets in all of the meat and not just some of it. Okay, don't know whether you can see this. I'm gonna bring it to you now. That's what it should look like, all mixed up and nice with all of the lovely marinade all over it. Oh, this is bad. This is what it is. Right, okay. If you want to mash it up with your palm, then do so. So that half of your onion that's remaining, Don't throw it away. It is useful. I suggest that you just chop it up. I don't know whether you can see this. I don't know how I'm going to show you this. Just take your knife and try and, cut down like you usually do, and chop away. That's my onion, and I'm going to just chop this up here because it's faster, and I'm trying to be quick because I'm quite tired. Just like some tissue. Sorry about that. And this is what I usually do to get rid of like the skin. Yeah. Okay. This one. I find that if you look at the garlic, like at the base of the garlic, there's usually this like nasty bit here. I don't know whether you can see that. The bottom bit. And I usually like take that off and pull it down this way. Don't know whether you can see that. I take that off and pull it down that way, because then you just get rid of the skin very easily and it peels off quite nicely. Don't know whether you can see this. Sorry if you can't. This is it. The bad bit, take that off and then peel down, and then you get rid of the nasty like shell casing that you're the nasty skin of the garlic quite easily. Garlic is really good for you, so I like to make sure that I put quite a bit of it in my meal. You won't get funky breath, don't worry, because half of it will be chopped and the other half will be squeezed with my garlic crusher. So I'm not gonna necessarily, I can probably like taste it, but I'm not gonna smell like garlic the whole day. Okay, wash my garlic. Now, like I said, some of them I'm gonna crush. So if you have a garlic crusher, sometimes the components, well, they should come apart. You have this bit, it's like a, you know that thing that people use when they sew? I don't know what it's called now, but it's what they use so that they don't hurt themselves when they knit and when they sew. But I can't remember what it is now. But it looks like that. Basically, pop that in that, like a slot thing. And what you do is that you place your garlic in the net bit. You place the top bit on the bit that has the garlic in it. And all you do is just squeeze down. That's literally all you do. Now sometimes it's really hard, so squeeze a lot of force, because big garlic pieces will give off quite a bit of garlic. And that's 3 cloves that I'm going to squeeze like this. And I like to leave the skin of the garlic sometimes, because you can just easily put that in your meal anyway, and it gives off a nice aroma, a nice scent. These are the biggest ones I'm going to use now to squeeze and crush, because I want quite a bit of nicely squeezed garlic. Obviously you don't have to use garlic if you don't want to, but I personally prefer garlic. I think garlic is really necessary in a meal, and for something like spaghetti bolognese you can't not have garlic in there somewhere. Yeah, so that's my garlic squeezed, and the rest of the garlic I'm just gonna chop it. I don't need to chop it finely. Doesn't need to be chopped finely. If you wish to chop it finely, then please by all means go ahead, but it doesn't need to. Just chop it as, well, they say roughly chopped in all these shows, so roughly chopped, not necessarily finely chopped. You're gonna ask me, okay, why am I chopping some and why am I squeezing some? Now, the reason is that when you chop the garlic, you still have the garlic in your meal. You can physically see the garlic and taste the garlic. And the aroma is quite powerful, which is nice, because you obviously want your beef and your spaghetti bolognese to smell nice. However, when you squeeze the garlic, it's literally gone in like 5 seconds when you add it to the frying pan in the oil. Because it's already been squeezed, so all the surface areas are clearly open and ready to face the oil. So I like the difference because you can still see the garlic and you feel like garlic is still in your meal. To be honest, I think it's just a psychological thing of mine. I'm probably quite crazy like that, so yeah, such is life. Yeah, finely chopped garlic is here. I'm just randomly chopping them like I said you can do if needs be. Now remember on my website I said something about taking salt and like trying to squash the garlic with it, and you can. And what I mean by that is you take the salt that you have, take a pinch of that salt, place it on the garlic like the whole clove, and what you do is you just squeeze like that, and it easily mashes up your garlic for you into this fine paste that we have here. So you can see there's like a mix of chopped garlic and a mix of finely paced garlic, squeezed garlic. Yeah? Hopefully you can see the difference. Yeah? Okay. And that's my garlic on one side, 6 cloves of garlic. I've got my onion here that I've chopped. I've got my peppers over there. I've got my meat here that's lovely and marinating. We're going to continue this now. Now, when you have your peppers, you have the whole pepper here. What you need to do is take that pepper, place it on your chopping board, and you need to cut that pepper in half. Now, when you cut the pepper in half, you'll see that you have, like, you know, the pepper bits and all the nasty bits. You need to get rid of all the white because that doesn't taste very nice. You need to get rid of all of that. I will try my best to try and show you one-handedly, but it's really hard to do that. But yeah, you basically take your pepper and you want to, like, slice down. Yeah. Then you want to take... this should be fine. How else am I going to do this? This is hard. Okay. Yeah. Just going to have to show you like this. Yeah. Okay. And then you need to turn the pepper around. Get rid of this by chopping it like that. Yeah. Going around, chopping it completely. And it should come off. Yeah. And bounce about. Get rid of that because you don't want it. It's hot and you don't need it. Yeah. And then you need to get rid of all the white bits. So you need to be quite masterful. And you need to try and find a way to do this. Now, I would do this better if I wasn't pointing this, but hopefully you guys can get the idea of what I'm talking about. Yeah? Just get rid of all the white bits. Yeah? Okay. Gonna return the vantage point now. If it's the same price for like a whole pack of peppers, look for the biggest pepper and get that pepper. Is what I would tell you, would be your advice. And I love peppers because they make the meal taste a lot more hearty. They really make the meal taste really nice. Place the pepper face down and just chop longitudinally. I think it's horizontally is the term. I hope so. Anyway, yeah, just chop down. Yeah, and then turn it sideways and then chop down that way as well. So you get it into nice, like, chunky cubes. Don't worry if they're not even. No one's going to be paying attention. So, some people claim that there's, like, a difference with peppers in terms of their colors and how they taste. I don't think so. I just like the aesthetic look of it when you're cooking and you've got different colors on your cooking board. Mm. Yeah? Mm. Yeah? Yeah, he agrees.
I agree. Plus, peppers have been reported to help against cancer.
Yes, they have, actually. Good shout. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Peppers and lettuce, apparently. Yeah, so the same, just chopping it the same way. And basically, once you've chopped your peppers, you are ready for the start of the cooking process now. And we're done with the preparation. Okay. That's it. Now you guys want to take a look at the mess I've made? By all means, go ahead. Oh, thanks, Joe. That's what my chopping board looks like. So, yeah, a nice mix of couleurs. Okay, so right now I added the garlic in, and you can see that the garlic is brown and the onions are browning, and that is a good time to add your peppers. Thank you, Joey. And Joe's gonna help me add the peppers. All of the peppers are gonna go right in. It's okay. And all the peppers are in the pan, and they're moving around, and they're getting really soft. And they're getting really soft. So, yeah, it's a good thing. You just want that to soften as best as you can. Let it soften. And you'll see that the peppers sort of like release a bit of water. That's normal. That's what peppers are supposed to do. And it's a good thing because it means your garlic and your onions aren't gonna burn. From this. So yeah. That's sizzling in the pan, and
the frying. A good sign with the peppers.
Very good sign with the peppers.
The more the peppers fry, the more the actual flavour from the peppers is getting absorbed into
There
the
we
dish.
go. There we go. Man, you should be my sous chef.
I'm good at knowing how food cooks.
Yeah, you are. So this is getting quite soft, but I still want it a bit softer before I put in the meat because, yeah, they mush. So make sure that they're tender but not hard. And right now they're hard, verging on tender. So I'm just gonna give it another 2 minutes.
What you do is mix it.
Okay, so this is now the exact consistency I want. Now, if you want in terms of time, don't put the meat in till about 10 minutes from the time the peppers were in. Actually, that's wrong. Leave the peppers in and let them cook for about 2 minutes. I'm looking at the stopwatch and it's not been 10 minutes since they've been in there. I'm gonna put the meat in now, and you can see the difference. It's softened up. You can see the steam coming from it, meaning that it's actually cooking. You can see that the garlic and the onions are not burnt.
The same place?
Yeah, all in the same place. Thank you. The meat's going in now. Thank you. This is the pre-marinated meat. I'm gonna ask Joe to help me hold this for a second. Do you mind? Thank you. Now, I need to be really quick because this can either turn into meatballs or turn into actual bolognese, which is what we wanted, not meatball bolognese. So, it takes a while. It takes a lot of mashing, but you will get there in the end. And you can see, just look at the blend of colors. Like, you've got the green, you've got the red, you've got the orange, the yellow. So you can see now that the you can see now that the meat's like kind of cooked now. You can see it's brown, and you can see that it's turned into like an actual mince piece. It's not like into like
if
massive
it's not
meatballs.
Browned, then usually it's going to give you food poisoning. So
Make
you have
sure
to wait
brown.
until it's brown and not pink
Exactly.
to make it so it's worth eating.
And this is just the first part. And now we're gonna add the tomato puree. Roughly about 2 tablespoons worth, you know, if you want to be precise in your measurements. If not, just like squeeze quite a bit into it, actually, depending on how much bolognese you actually have. I mean, how much meat you actually have in your pot. Now, I like this because it sweetens up the whole mixture ever so slightly, so it's not like overly sugary. It's quite nice. And the second bit is that whenever you add a tomato puree to the mix, when you add your tomato sauce, it doesn't all boil and congeal as water at the top, which takes away the flavor. So you can see now that it's become slightly redder than usual, which means that the tomato puree has gotten into the meat. You can see the onion has sweated down, so have the vegetables, and everything is all really nice and mixed up, and we're basically